Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So in this video guys, I want to talk about Bitcoin. There's a lot of different topics that I want to talk about Bitcoin, and I feel like this video is going to be really important. So please watch this entire video because I will in fact be talking about a fair few things. So you guys can read by the title that yes, I want to talk about, is it too early to invest into Bitcoin? And of course, right, early Bitcoin investors will make millions because we know, obviously, the people that have bought Bitcoin back in, let's just say 2010 to 2011, 2012, 2013, 2015, even 2018, 2019, even, right? These early investors, guys, have obviously made some type of wealth. Okay, we know a lot of people have made millions of dollars because just simply because investing into Bitcoin. Very simple, right? People have made life changing money. Okay, and that they of course became millionaires just by simply investing into Bitcoin long term. And in this video, I want to explain why I think it's still early to invest into Bitcoin, because I feel like a lot of people think it's too late to invest into Bitcoin. Okay, so there's a lot of different topics I want to talk about in this video, and I really want to talk about owning one full Bitcoin. Now, if you guys are in fact OG viewers, OG subscribers, if you guys have in fact been watching my content for quite some time now, right, then you guys will know ever since I started this YouTube channel, right, talking about Bitcoin and crypto, I've been literally begging you guys, been telling you guys to at least accumulate and own just one single Bitcoin, just one whole coin of a Bitcoin, right? It's very simple because in the future, guys, right, we know Bitcoin will always rise up. Okay, it will always rise up in value. Yes, short term is really volatile. We see Bitcoin crash every now and then. That's because we enter different cycles. There's a bear market and a bull market. Okay, so this happens pretty much every 4 years. So in 1 year we do in fact enter in a bear market, and then the next 3 years we pretty much enter in the next bull markets, right? So it's just the whole cycle, right? It really is. It's like clockwork. So you guys have to understand, right? I want to talk about a lot of things in this video. Why I believe you guys should own one for Bitcoin. Why it's early to why it's still early to invest into Bitcoin right now, because a lot of people think it's too late, but it really isn't, right? So I want to talk about all that in this video. Now, before we get into this video, guys, go down below right now, give this video a quick little thumbs up, and of course subscribe to the channel if you guys have not yet already. I really would appreciate that, because I know a lot of you guys that do in fact watch my videos are not subscribed, right? So if you guys are in fact investors into Bitcoin and crypto, even traders, right? If you guys are in general, in the crypto space, just like myself, please consider subscribe, right? Please consider subscribing, because every single day I do in fact talk about Bitcoin. I give you guys updates what's happening with Bitcoin, not just that, but also cryptocurrency in general, right? So that being said, let's begin with this video. Now, before I talk about these topics that I want to talk about in this video, I want to quickly give you guys an update on what is happening right now with Bitcoin. Now, I made a video a couple of hours ago, earlier this morning, and we saw Bitcoin above $27,000, right? Around $27.1 thousand. And right now, you guys can clearly see Bitcoin did in fact break down 27K, okay? And now it's all the way back down to $26.8 thousand. So Bitcoin has in fact been doing this for quite some time. You guys can clearly see that, right? This is in fact a support level. You guys can obviously clearly see that right here, right? This is pretty much a support level for Bitcoin, and it's been doing this for the past few days. So we will see, okay, if Bitcoin will eventually have a bigger correction back down to 25,000 or 24, right? Or will it bounce back up to 27 and then continue to go up? We will see, because for the past few days, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, Bitcoin has not really been making much movements. It's pretty much just been consolidating. You guys can clearly see that, okay? But in my opinion, Bitcoin is still holding up very well. Now let's begin, okay? Let's begin with this article. And by the way, this article came out back in 2014, right? 2014, so a couple of years back. And it's actually, pretty crazy to think about how much, Bitcoin has come, you know what I mean, what it's been through and whatnot, right? Because thinking about it now, we know Bitcoin is well above, worth tens and thousands of dollars. Back in 2014, it was at like worth like what, a couple hundred of dollars, you know what I mean? So you guys understand this news article is pretty old, but look at the title. Is Bitcoin a joke? People thought that the internet, was a joke as well, right? When the internet was in fact created, right, in the early days, okay, um, you know, a lot of people thought the internet was a complete joke, right? And that's how a lot of people think about Bitcoin. So obviously, guys, right, Bitcoin is just like the new internet, okay? Just like when Facebook first came out, Instagram, all these different social media platforms first came out, a lot of people were making jokes about it. You know what I mean? A lot of people didn't believe in it, right? So you guys have to understand, it's just like Bitcoin. We know the internet is massive right now. Okay, it's huge, especially social media, all these different social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, right? Snapchat, TikTok is a big one, okay, and many more. Reddit, all these different types of different social media platforms that have changed the world. Look at YouTube, right? So many, okay. So the internet is massive, okay, especially today, all right, in 2023, it's huge. So it's just like Bitcoin, right? We know Bitcoin was created back in 2009, okay, by a anonymous person named Satoshi Nakamoto, and it could be, a man or a woman or a group of people. To this day, we have no idea who or she or these people are, right? But a lot of people aren't in fact saying it's one individual and it's a man. But we will see, okay? Who knows? We'll probably never know who this person is. But this person obviously created Bitcoin as a peer-to-peer transaction for money, right? So it's decentralized, okay? There's no central authority or banks or any governments in between the peer-to-peer transactions. It's completely just between two people, right? With no middleman, okay, no banks, no government behind it or anything like that, right? And that's what I like about Bitcoin, because it's decentralized. So you guys understand, right, that Bitcoin, okay, a lot of people think it's a joke, because think about it, right? Bitcoin is still early, guys, okay? It really is. Think about it. Bitcoin was created in 2009. The white paper for Bitcoin was, I think it came out in like 2008, right? So if you really think about it, Bitcoin has only been around for over 13 years. Not long at all, right? It really isn't. Bitcoin and crypto has only been around for over 13 years. It hasn't been too long, right? Give it another, few decades, right? 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, a lot of new, adopters, right? Companies, okay, and people in general, right, will start adopting Bitcoin, accumulating into Bitcoin, investing into Bitcoin, and soon enough, you guys will see Bitcoin will be something huge, right? It really will. So just stay away. And you guys understand, right? Check this out. Less than 1% of the world holds Bitcoin. And this is why, guys, it's still early. Literally, think about that. Less than 1% of the world holds Bitcoin. So think about it. Not a lot of people are in fact investing into Bitcoin, right? And hold Bitcoin. Okay, literally less than 1% of the world. Okay, there's over 7 billion people, almost 8 billion, I believe, right? Which is a lot of people, obviously. And not even 1% of that hold or invest into Bitcoin. So think about that. That's how early we are, guys, into Bitcoin. It really is, guys. Okay, we are so early into Bitcoin. It's not even funny. A lot of people think we are so late into investing into Bitcoin. But like I said many times, this was created back in 2009. It's only been around for over 13 years. Just 13 years, guys. This market, right, is not new. It's not, it's not old, you know what I mean? Like, it hasn't been around for a while. This is still a new market, guys. And that's why I believe Bitcoin and crypto, it's really, really volatile. But later on in the years, in the next few decades, it won't be as volatile as it is today, right? Because we know Bitcoin is very, very volatile. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Okay, it goes up and down a whole bunch. A lot of crashes does in fact happen, but also a lot of pumps do in fact happen as well. And if you guys look at, the bigger picture for Bitcoin, if you really zoom out and look at, the Bitcoin chart, it's always shooting up. it's always reaching a new all-time high every single time, long term, right? Yeah, short term, it's going up and down a whole bunch. It fluctuates a lot, right? I'm not going to lie, guys. So think about that, right? Less than 1% of the world holds Bitcoin and invest into Bitcoin. So that's why, guys, we are still very early in Bitcoin and crypto. Okay, we really are. Now, is Bitcoin a buy in 2023? Okay, is Bitcoin a great buy right now for this year alone in 2023? Okay, in the next upcoming years, of course. Yes. Very, very simple. I do, in fact, think it's a great buy right now for Bitcoin. We know Bitcoin back last November and December, right, dropped all the way down to pretty much below $16,000. I think we saw Bitcoin, hovering between 16K and 17K for quite some time, right? And then all of a sudden we saw Bitcoin have these rallies up, right? These pumps, okay, all of 2023. So I must say, guys, yes, it's 100%. I've been telling us so many times that it is, in fact, a great buy right now for Bitcoin, especially this year alone in 2023. We are still in a bear market. We're not fully in a bull market yet. And if you guys really look at the chart for Bitcoin, if we go to the weekly time frame, you guys can clearly see that Bitcoin is nowhere near its previous all-time highs, right? This is its previous all-time highs, and we're all the way down here. It's not even halfway to its, all-time high, right? Its previous all-time high. So think about that. We are still so early, guys, okay? We really are. And of course, I think right now it's still a great buy for Bitcoin, right? Especially long term, right? It really is. Think about it. We know in the next bull market, Bitcoin will 100% reach a new all-time high. The halving is about to happen, okay, in the year 2024, around April or May, in between there. So literally less than 1 year from now. And we know what happens when the halving happens, right, for Bitcoin. It always tends to pump the most. That's where Bitcoin pumps the most and, of course, reaches a new crazy price of a new all-time high, right? It really does. It's like clockwork. It always happens, right? If you guys go back to our halvings, right, when our previous halving events for Bitcoin, right, every single time we have a halving, Bitcoin pumps like crazy. The same exact thing is going to happen in 2024 and, of course, 2025. And I really do believe Bitcoin, a lot of people are in fact saying Bitcoin's going to reach, 200K to 50K, even over $300,000 per Bitcoin. But personally, I think that's very possible. I think Bitcoin will reach at least over 250K, 300K maybe, and maybe even just over that, right? I really do. That's very possible in the next bull market. I think that's very realistic for Bitcoin to reach, okay, because Bitcoin is going to surprise a lot of people, right? Just like what it did in 2020, we saw Bitcoin at around, $6,000 to $7,000, and then all of a sudden it pumped all the way up to like 63K. Think about that, right? Just think about it, okay? Not a lot of people thought Bitcoin would ever reach, past, $30,000, and it went double that, right? So think about that. So I think it's a great buy right now for Bitcoin in 2023, 100%. I've been telling you that many times. I've personally been stacking a whole bunch of Bitcoin because I'm taking this as an opportunity to get in, okay, at a good price, especially for long term. You guys understand, when I'm investing into Bitcoin, right, I'm always thinking long term. I'm not thinking short term because I know short term it's not going to perform that well, but long term, right, it's going to perform absolutely amazing. And I know for a fact, okay, those Bitcoin investments that I've made will turn into some life-changing money, right? For a fact, okay? So that's why I am doing it, guys. And I really do believe that Bitcoin is a great buy right now in 2023, especially at this price of $26,000, where we are right now, right? I think this is a great buy right now for Bitcoin, okay? It really is. That's just my personal opinion, okay? But you guys let me know in the comments down below. Because think about it. The next bull market, once Bitcoin is over 100K, over 200K, right, and you missed buying Bitcoin at 27K, imagine like how that would feel. Imagine how that would feel. You missed buying Bitcoin. Let's just say another example, right, back in let's just say 2018, right, when Bitcoin was worth like a couple $1,000s, right? Bitcoin was at like, I think like $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, somewhere around there, okay? And you missed buying that opportunity. You missed buying Bitcoin at that price at that time. It's going to be the same feeling if you don't take action now, because Bitcoin will be over 6 figures. Okay, that's going to happen in the next bull market. That's just personally my opinion. Now, a lot of people, okay, this is some big news, and I've been talking about this for quite some time. I've made a fair few videos talking about this where, Bitcoin will eventually reach $1 million per Bitcoin. Okay. A lot of people believe, and I'm one of them, right, that one Bitcoin will in fact be worth $1 million in the future. And I think this is very possible. You got to understand the supply for Bitcoin. Okay, there's a limited supply. There's 21 million Bitcoins. Think about it now, right? 21 million Bitcoins. There's over 7 billion, okay, 7 billion people that live on Earth. There's only 21 million Bitcoins. Not everyone can own, a percentage of a Bitcoin. Not even one single coin. Put it this way, right? All the millionaires in the world, there's estimated to be around 54 million people that are in fact millionaires, okay? Only 54 million people, and there's 21 million Bitcoins. Not even all the millionaires in the world can own a single coin. Think about that. So if you're watching this video right now and you own one full coin, right, in your portfolio, right, you actually accumulated one full Bitcoin, you are blessed. Just think about that. You're pretty much in the 1%, right? You really are. Because there's just not enough to go around, right? There really isn't. And think about it, guys, right? The supply is low, which means the demand will in fact keep rising. The price of Bitcoin will in fact, it will just keep rising over time, right? Long term. New adopters will start investing into, Bitcoin. And I've told you guys this many times. One thing that I'm really bullish with Bitcoin, okay, is because a lot of people are going to start using Bitcoin as, actual, peer-to-peer money transactions. So we know nowadays a lot of people use, debit cards, credit cards, PayPal, Apple Pay, Cash App to pay for things, right? But I feel like Bitcoin will replace that. And a lot of major, businesses and companies will start accepting Bitcoin as payment. And a lot of different, cities, right, are already doing that, okay? And, businesses and companies, right, all around different countries and cities and whatnot. Look at Dubai, look at like El Salvador, right? Those are just some examples. And I feel like, more cities around the world, more countries around the world will start doing the exact same thing. Okay. So that's why, guys, I'm really, really, really bullish with Bitcoin. And I think, yes, Bitcoin will easily reach $1 million per Bitcoin in the future. Okay. I really do believe in that, guys. Okay. I really do. So we will see. And look at this, right? Cathie Wood. We know Cathie Wood is very, very invested into Bitcoin, right? She believes in Bitcoin, okay? And she is saying that Bitcoin will be hitting, okay, $1 million by 2030. By 2030. That's what she's saying, okay? So that is absolutely crazy. That is, literally less than 7 years from now. That's less than a decade, less than 10 years, right? Literally less than 7 years from now, Cathie Wood is saying that we will potentially see Bitcoin reach $1 million per coin. And that is not very long at all. So imagine, guys, you accumulate one full Bitcoin, okay, and your investment turns into $1 million. You will potentially, right? You're pretty much a millionaire, right? You really are. So just think about that. You invest into Bitcoin at, just below $27,000, okay, or below $30,000, right? And, okay, and you just hold it, right? You don't look at it, or you don't think about it. And then, less than 7 years from now, if Bitcoin does eventually reach $1 million by that year, in that 7 years, you just invested, you made an investment of, let's just say 30K, and it turns into $1 million. You know how great that sounds? Right? Like, guys, this is not financial advice, obviously. This is just personally what I am saying, okay, what I'm thinking right now, because this is absolutely crazy. And this is why, guys, I believe Bitcoin has store of value, right? It really does. So that's what I'm going to say, okay? Be excited for that, guys. I really want you guys to just do your own research, okay, on Bitcoin, because not a lot of people understand it, okay? And that's why I feel like a lot of people are, in fact, bearish. They don't believe in Bitcoin, but you just have to really do your own research on Bitcoin, what Bitcoin is, what's the technology behind it, why it was created at the first place, right? I highly suggest you guys to read the white paper for Bitcoin. It's actually on the internet. You just search up the Bitcoin white paper. It's the first link. You just click on it, and pretty much it will just show you guys a whole bunch of paragraphs, and just read through it, and then you'll understand that a bit more. Because I feel like a lot of people, the reason why they are bearish with Bitcoin is because they don't really understand it. You know what I mean? They really don't. But once you understand it and it makes sense to you and why Bitcoin was actually created at the first place and why the world needs Bitcoin, then I feel like you will be more bullish, right? But that's that. So, how many people own one Bitcoin? Okay, I feel like this is very important. So, according to data from whoever that is, from the charts, whatever, as of March of 2023, there are approximately 827,000 addresses that hold one full Bitcoin or more, right? Or more. So that is pretty insane, right? Over the years, you know, the addresses, okay, 800 over 800,000 addresses hold one full Bitcoin, which is pretty amazing, right? They own, a full coin or just over one full Bitcoin. Okay, so that is absolutely amazing, guys. Okay, over the years, this has obviously gone up a fair bit. Okay, and if you guys are out there and you guys, don't own one full Bitcoin yet, and you probably do, right? You're probably wondering, you're probably, watching this video and you're saying to yourself, I already easily own one full Bitcoin. I understand that you guys, are probably wealthy already. Okay, and you guys got money to invest and whatnot. But this is for the people out there that, are still not really, in that stage yet, right? They don't have a lot of money. Okay, they want to build wealth. They want to become millionaires in the future. This is, for them, right? So I want you guys to understand, I was just like you guys a couple of years ago, okay? And in 2021, let me just show you guys, if I go to the weekly time frame, around this time right here, this time right here was when I really started to invest heavy into Bitcoin. And this was actually the day where I actually accumulated my first ever Bitcoin. I think it was in July, right? So I kept dollar cost averaging. Okay, I saw Bitcoin crash a lot, right? And it was around $34,000, and then it went up to like 38K. I just kept dollar cost averaging. I kept buying in. My mindset was like, I wanted to have that goal of owning one full Bitcoin, right? That was literally my goal for that year in 2021. Right. And then finally in July, around this time right here, I finally owned my full Bitcoin, right? Around that time, right around here. Okay, I was buying a lot of Bitcoin and I finally accumulated one full Bitcoin. Okay, and I still have that coin today, of course. And then I kept going, right? I kept buying in, right? But when Bitcoin was in fact pumping, I didn't take any of my profits. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I really didn't, right? But I wasn't really buying because I know eventually it will in fact drop. And this is where, guys, I started to really dollar cost average into Bitcoin because I knew we were in fact in a bear market and Bitcoin was in fact going to be dropping even more. Okay. And around this time right here, this is where I fully really invested into Bitcoin. And I'm not saying that because, this was where, the bottom was for Bitcoin, but I'm just saying, like, no joke. I even made a video. It's titled, I'm going all in on Bitcoin. I've talked about this many times. And in that video, I made a video when Bitcoin on that day was dropping like 6%. It was around, 15.8 thousand dollars. And that's why I invested almost $20,000 into Bitcoin. I was investing heavy. I was stacking a whole bunch of Bitcoin, guys. Okay. And I can easily tell you guys this, that I easily own more than one Bitcoin. That's what I'm going to say. I'm obviously not going to tell you guys how much, how many Bitcoin I actually own. But I can tell you this, I own more than one coin easily, right? So I'm just really blessed that I caught the bottom and I've been dollar cost averaging ever since Bitcoin has in fact been dropping. I just kept buying, I kept stacking, right? So that's that, guys. So always have that mindset, okay, of owning one full Bitcoin because it's very possible. Trust me, I thought it was very impossible for me to own one full Bitcoin because I looked at the price for Bitcoin and I was like, how am I going to invest, over $30,000 to invest into Bitcoin? But that's the thing, guys. You can invest as small as $10, $20, $30, $50 into Bitcoin, but keep investing, dollar cost average. So let's just say every week you want to invest $100 into Bitcoin. Okay, you can do that, right? Every week you invest into Bitcoin $100 consistently, no matter how Bitcoin is performing, if it's pumping or dumping, you just invest. You just put that $100 into Bitcoin and you keep doing that every single week consistently, right? Throughout the years, you just keep doing that, right? So that's how I was able to, accumulate my first Bitcoin. I actually made a video last year on the story on how I actually accumulated one for Bitcoin. I forgot what the title was, but it's somewhere on my channel. Okay. But yeah, that's that, guys. So it's crazy, right? Over 800,000 addresses that hold one Bitcoin or more. So that's pretty cool. Now, there's one more thing that I want to talk about in this video before I end it. Okay, and this is really, really interesting. Okay, check this out. So only 0.27% of the global population can own one Bitcoin each. Like I said, there's not enough Bitcoins to go around for everyone to own. Okay, one Bitcoin is going to be very scarce in the future. That's what I'm going to tell you guys. Okay, it's going to be very, very scarce. Okay, once Bitcoin reaches $1 million, $1 million per coin, it's going to be so hard to accumulate one full Bitcoin. Right? Imagine that, guys. Right? Imagine how much easier it is right now to accumulate one full Bitcoin. Buying one Bitcoin right now is like pretty much buying a new car. Right? It really is like buying a new car. But 10 years from now, 20 years from now, buying one full Bitcoin is like going to be buying a house, right? So imagine how much harder in the future it will be, guys, to accumulate one full Bitcoin. Once the price is like at, hundreds and thousands of dollars, it's going to be so much harder, right? In the future. Right now, it's not too hard. Okay. It's still possible, guys. And it's going to be more rare, to own a Bitcoin in the future for a fact. Okay. And I'm pretty sure we can all, agree on that one. So yes, there's not enough Bitcoins to go around, guys. And for all the people out there, okay, that have accumulated a whole bunch of Bitcoin. Let's just say, for example, Michael Saylor, okay, and MicroStrategy. We know they have accumulated, a lot of Bitcoin, tens and thousands of Bitcoins, maybe even over, easily over 100,000 Bitcoins, right? MicroStrategy, right? That company, they are not going to be selling any of their Bitcoins, okay? Think about that. So obviously it's clear a lot of people, once Bitcoin becomes more scarce, because it's already scarce itself, but once it becomes more scarce and it becomes more rare to own one full Bitcoin, a lot of people won't sell their Bitcoins. They're going to be holding it long term. So think about it. There's just not enough Bitcoins to go around, guys. Okay, there really isn't. So take this as an opportunity. I really want you guys to take this as an opportunity to go out there and really focus, right? Do your own research, what Bitcoin is, okay? And just try to, if you like Bitcoin, you understand it, the technology, why it was created at the first place, right? Invest in it, right? And have that goal of accumulating one coin. Yes, it's cool to own, 10% of a Bitcoin or 50%, half of a Bitcoin, but I really want you guys to push it further, right? Own one full Bitcoin, right? Try to get to that goal of owning one full Bitcoin. And hey, if you reach that goal of finally accumulating one full coin, get to the next one. Try 2 coins, 5 coins, 10 coins, 20 coins, 50 coins, 100 coins, right? Because trust me, guys, okay, Bitcoin will eventually reach, millions, not just 1 million, but millions of dollars in the future. Of course, I'm talking long term. I'm talking decades, okay? Decades from now, right? So just think about it. The supply, okay, is very, very low. Obviously, a few millions of Bitcoins have in fact been lost throughout the years, right? So realistically, we have less than 21 million Bitcoins, which makes it even more scarce. 21 million is already scarce itself, but pretty much we have less than that. So think about it, guys. Okay, just think about it. There's so many ways, guys. I can just go on and go on and go on with this video on why I'm really bullish with Bitcoin. Okay, and why I think right now still, we are still in its early stages. I think right now we are, we should be buying, okay, because we are still early. It's not late. We're not late at all, guys. We're still very, very early. But I don't want to keep this video too long because I know for a fact it's like over 20 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here, guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Later on tonight, I will in fact be going live. So come along, join it. Okay, I really would appreciate that. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video. Have a good one, guys.